just need everybody to remember, man, you know, you're talking about Highland Springs, it's a lot bigger than Loren Johnson. It's a lot bigger than the 4 players sitting up here. It's really about the coaches, our community, and our fans. You know, for a long period of time, I heard a lot about Highland Springs and how negative Highland Springs was and how bad Highland Springs was and how bad it is in the county of Henrico, and the East End is not good, and the East End is not this, and the East End is not that. Well, in the East End of Henrico, we are starting something, I don't care if you want to call it a revolution or what it is, of young black men, young African-American males who are being successful in everything that they do and how they carry themselves. We read a report that Highland Springs is #2 in the country for missing black men. Well, these young men are not missing. They're here, they're working, and they're striving to be productive men in society. So I wanted to get that out there first because I hear it on a regular basis, and I hear people doubt us on a regular basis. So stop doubting us, stop talking negative about us. We are here to be successful entities in the community. And I want people to understand that. Now, about the game, talking about the game first and foremost, the defense set the tone. Coach Simmons did an excellent job, as he's done week in and week out. The guy on my left had the opportunity to call a coin toss, and he said he wanted to defer. He wanted to play defense. I don't even know if we won the coin toss, but he came off and we were playing defense. And when he said we were playing defense, I knew right then and there that things were going to work in our favor and we were going to play well today. Early in the third quarter, we kind of came out and just did some things that were uncharacteristic. However, the young men did do an excellent job of galvanizing back together and making sure we were in the right place at the right time, doing what we needed to do to be successful. So all in all, other than the special teams skews early on in the first half, I thought we played a great game and the kids did what we wanted them to do, which is win the ball game, whether it was by 1 point or 70 points. Questions?
Coach, can we go back to your opening statement for
Yes,
a
sir.
minute? #2 in the country for missing black men. Missing in what sense?
You know what? In the article, they just said they're absent. You know, that they're absent. Absent fathers, you know, either in jail, they're gone, they're doing something, they're murdered, they're killed, just something that's not productive or positive. And what we do, the 100 young men, which is 10% or more than 10% of the male population in our building, they're not doing those things. And they're working extremely hard to debunk those myths early and often in their careers.
Where was this article?
USA Today, I think it was, a couple places. You see me afterwards, I got a copy of it. It's on my computer.
If we could stay on that topic, how frequently do you guys talk about this as a program? And I mean, guys, if you want to weigh in, how does that weigh on you?
So every Monday, I'll say it, every Monday we get together and we talk. Mondays, we may not even go to practice on some Mondays, or we go very, very late on Mondays to practice. And we talk about it a great deal. And I'll let them finish up by saying,
you know, on Mondays, you know, Coach just tells us everything we need to do and talks about the game and how to be more successful as a black young man.
This is a really poignant year for race in football.
yes.
How did you approach that as a program?
We talked about it. So I had a young man ask me about kneeling, right, the American flag. And I just said to him, if you don't have a great purpose for it, if there's no purpose behind it, then you're not doing it. So we're going to talk about that. Like, what is your reasoning for doing something? And if it's a valid reason, then we'll move forward with it. So that was the kind of deal there. We talked about that a little bit. But, I mean, all in all, as a program, it's a glaring fact, right? You come out, Highland Springs, a team full of African-American men. The entire coaching staff is African-American. But that doesn't, like, our skin color doesn't depict who we are as people, right? And who we are as people, we're compassionate, right? We have love for one another. We have love for our community. We have love for the people that interact with us. And I think one of the biggest things is we want to make sure that we're productive when we leave here. So everybody doesn't have to live in Highland Springs their entire life. Now, we're very, 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 very grateful and thankful for the people that do, because these are the people that I'm blessed with. I'm coaching their children, right? But outside of that, if these young men want to go to Michigan State, they want to go to Clemson, they want to go to Wake Forest, we want them to go there and be successful at what they do. So we talk about it on a regular basis, how you handle yourself, how you carry yourself. Are you opening doors for young ladies? Are you practicing chivalry, right? So maybe I'm setting myself up, maybe I'm not, but these are the things that we expect of our young men, and our coaches hold them to that. carry yourself with a little bit more pride than what people think you have, what people say you have, right? Carry yourself on another level at all times. So I'm doing a lot of talking. They got to talk. You got to ask them questions.
Devontae, Billy, you guys chimed in on the great start for you guys. In the last 2 games you got behind. What do you attribute the great start to today's game to?
Talking to starting off from my linemen, telling them to get together and start off all with the linemen, doing a good job, pushing and working hard, executing. So we just execute the game plan, tell the whole offense to just execute the game plan, and we come out and just make big plays throughout the whole game, doing a good job.
How much easier did that first half feel, not having to come back from behind the last couple of weeks?
Took a lot of weight off our shoulders. And, during practice, defense throughout the weeks has been balling and doing what they do. So, it was time for the offense to come out and produce early on.
Justin, as a senior, you've probably heard Coach Johnson say these things many times. Does it start to sink in? What do you make of what he says in his message?
We all take it as because we're used to it, so we just take it with a grain of salt and just keep moving on with it.
I think you want to rephrase that. What I'm asking is, he keeps saying it to you, does it sink in?
Yeah, it does sink in. It does.
How so? And how do you then take it to the away from football into the classroom?
Well, he wants us to be polite, so we feel like if we show our good side off the field, then we'll be good.
Kieran, up front, especially early on, their running game wasn't there. Their quarterback likes to scramble. You didn't really have a lot of space. What made you feel like you had them overwhelmed up front?
We used to what our coach tell us in practice, use our technique, alignment, everything, and we just shut them down.
As a follow-up on that, take me through that fourth down play in the first drive. There's a situation they're trying to seize the lead early. You guys have fallen behind the last 2 weeks against Hermitage, Nansemond River. You get a huge play to give them the ball in their territory in the first possession. It kind of set the tone, really, for the rest of the game. Can you take me through that fourth down play?
Man, the defense, left hand to the ball. You just do it like we do in practice. Everything coach tells us, our technique, alignment, watch film. We just kept fighting, kept pushing.
Billy, why did you guys want to play defense to start?
Just shut them down early. Show them they couldn't move the ball.
Devontae, it was 33-0, and then it was 33-20, and it seemed like the momentum had shifted to Tuscarora. You guys came out and had a drive that sort of reestablished it. Were you worried at all what was being said among the team, among the players?
I wasn't really worried. Just everybody getting excited, so we had to get back to what we was doing and think about what our game plan was and get back on track and slow the game down.
Justin, did you know was going into it the plan to run, to set up the pass, and was there more of a responsibility for the offensive line today to get things going?
Definitely. We felt like there's a line that if we're able to run the ball, it can set up what our receivers can do and show their playmaking ability. So if we can run the ball well today, we'll do well on offense.
For any of the players, take me back to August, first practice, even though you're two-time defending state champions because of so many graduation losses, you guys are, in some circles, considered an underdog. Not a lot of people expected you to be sitting here right now. What did you do in those dog days of August in practice before you ever started the first game of the season to put you in a position to be here right now?
Coming off a state championship win, I don't see how we would be considered underdogs. But, we just came out with a chip on our shoulder every day in practice hard. We always had this goal in mind and just did everything the coaches said and practiced hard and stayed together as a team. We always say we're all we got, and that's what we did throughout the year.
Billy, can you tell me that first touchdown that's on that screen pass, what you saw there?
But I just saw Vontae catch the ball, throw it. I saw the ball wobbling a little bit. Then I saw my receivers set up good, block, wide open hole, just took it.
Do you feel like your speed was that a game changer today?
not my speed. It was the blocking on the outside did open it. I feel like if any one of our receivers in that position, they're the same outcome.
Devontae, huge quarterback battle coming into the season against David Lane. You win the job, take over for Fruity. Is there any pressure for you coming into this season?
I just put everything behind me, just think about what Coach expect me to do, and just, I gotta execute what he tell me, and I listen to Coach, and came together to be great throughout the season.
Loren, everyone talks about this team being younger than the last two. How are
Yes.
they beyond age, beyond experience?
They are not beyond age.
No, I mean beyond the fact that they're younger and less experienced.
Yeah.
What makes this group different?
They are not beyond age. They are very young, and they bring their own challenges to the table. So just so you know, I'll say it in front of them. I'll say it in front of anybody. There are days like go back to the Hermitage game. We're not in school. Go back to the Woodside game. We're not in school. We try to get to the school early. Juwan Carter can tell you, other guys that have been in the program. We try to get them there as early as we can. Feed them breakfast. Make sure we give them brunch, right? Or maybe a late lunch, depending on what time the game is, or we're traveling or something. Feed them pregame meal, we move forward. I told them at the beginning of the year, and I told the coaches, I cannot be around this group that long, right? It's just a different group, right? They just laugh a little bit louder. They play a little bit harder. They're more exuberant about the smaller things. So they are different, and they are very, very young. Now, the great thing about it is, when we get on the bus and we do our depth chart like we have done the last 2 years, it ain't many holes to fill, right? So I can tell you this right now: on the offense side of the ball, on the defense side of the ball, we lose 2. One of them is Billy Kemp. The other one is DeMonte Feldman. So we got 9 coming back on defense, and on offense, we lose 4. 3 of those 4 are receivers. We have 19 receivers that can catch the ball in our program. I don't think we miss a beat except for the guy that's played center the last 3 years in the playoffs, and that's Carey, big Carey. So we got to find a center, and Devontae Waller's gonna have to throw the ball a lot, and he's gonna have to find 3 receivers that can catch the ball. But it's evident that we have some guys already in the program. And then on the defense side of the ball, we got to find a nose guard that plugs the hole, like Michi did, and then we got to find another DB. But I think he's walking around with a boot on his foot and wearing number 2. So I think we're pretty good there as well. So with that being said, I am excited now to see what happens July 31st, 2018.
So you won't be at Hermitage then?
No, I will not be at Hermitage. We'll be at Highland Springs. We'll be practicing. We're moving forward.
That was a joke.
I know it's a joke, but the sad part about it, you're not the first person to ask me, and you're not going to be the last person to ask me, but there's no reason to leave the best school in Henrico County already.
Loren, did
Yes.
you guys spend 13 weeks thinking you were going to play Stonebridge?
When did they lose to Tuscarora?
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. So yes, they made the comment to our JV team at a 707 tournament at James Madison that this was the best team that they had, and that they were going to be here, and they were waiting on us to get here. There's nothing else to say. We're going to play football and not talk, and then we'll talk in settings like this, but we're just going to play football. And I tell the kids on a regular basis, you don't need to run your mouth. You play football in between the white lines, not on social media, or not in the newspaper. You play football in between the white lines. So we're just going to play as hard as you possibly can.